What's up guys, this is KSHMR. Very excited to tell you about the new update to KSHMR Reverb. This is KSHMR Reverb 1.2. It's got a lot of great features and it's completely free to existing users. So let's dive right into it. For starters, when you open it up, you're going to see that we've got a visualizer here now, which shows you your input sound and the reverb as two different waveforms. And that's really helpful in visualizing the different effects that we're gonna do. You might also notice that I'm using a new algorithm here, Hall V2. Hall V2 is bigger, it's brighter than Hall V1. Some of you guys were saying, we like the functions, the effects, but the reverb is a little too dark or it doesn't sound as big. Hall V2 really accomplishes that. Hall V1 sounded like this. Hall V2 sounds like this. It's a bit bigger, it's a bit brighter, a bit cleaner. It sounds less like a vintage verb and more like a modern reverb. And Hall V2 comes as a new algorithm in KSHMR Reverb. Let's take a look at the pre-delay. We had pre-delay before, but now you can quantize it and set it to a time that matches your tempo. The next thing that we're going to look at is MIDI. When you're using KSHMR Reverb before, it was only taking a look at the input signal. In this case, it's our snare, but maybe we wanted to take a look at the other instruments, or maybe you just want to set MIDI notes that trigger all the effects. Doesn't have to do with anything. Well, now you can do that. You can manually set the MIDI notes that are going to control KSHMR Reverb. So here we've got a little MIDI track that we've created, and we're doing the kick pattern as well as the snare. So you got, and we're going to send that MIDI to our snare and into KSHMR Reverb. Now when we open up KSHMR Reverb, we can set it to MIDI mode, but let's take a listen first to what it was doing without the MIDI. Right, so it's not reacting to the kick, only reacting to the snare, but when we put the MIDI on, now it's grooving with our kick. And this MIDI tool is really useful. It gives you incredibly accurate control. So we've got that, and finally I want to look at the de-esser. We always had a de-esser, but now we've improved it a bit. We've allowed you to select the range, and you're going to see a visual indication here as the de-essing comes into effect. So here is our vocal. So it gets a little bit bright at the end there, with the she. Right, so we're going to turn on the de-esser, and you're going to notice it lights up orange when it's de-essing. Right, and it's just getting rid of some of those harsh frequencies. So that's the de-esser. It gives you a range function now, and it gives you a visual indication function as well. And finally, for those of you who like to use dark mode, we have that option here too. You can go into dark mode, switch back to light mode. All right, guys, that is KSHMR Reverb 1.2. I hope you've enjoyed all the new features. It's a completely free update to existing users. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.
Let's begin.